Okay. Hopefully you're having a great day today. Right now it is literally like 3 a.m., but I want to talk about my music preferences. Um Starting from way back then when I was like 8 years old, I used to listen to like it sounds really stupid, but I was 8 years old. I used to listen to like a lot of FNAF music. Um That was like when it was very new. So I'm saying like the original Living Tombstone songs when they were very new, they were popular. They're still popular today, but I used to listen to them. I used to listen to JT Music. They used to be called JT Machinima, but they changed their name obviously. They basically just made songs about video games. I kind of don't want to talk about it because I was 8 years old, you know. And actually, I kept up listening to those types of songs for a while until 2020. I started to listen to synthwave, which is has no lyrics, obviously. I mean, depending on what songs you listen to, but yeah, I actually really didn't listen to a lot of music with lyrics in them back then. You know, especially like mainstream music. I wasn't really the biggest fan of like rap and hip hop or rock or R&B or anything really like that at the time. The more I think about it, it wasn't until you know I was a little older actually that I actually started listening to music like that. You know, um, but 2020 I started listening to a lot of synthwave. Um, it's really calming. I everyone knows Home. But if you're really into synthwave and just like whatever that genre is called, because like it's synthwave, but like it's mixed in with like lo-fi, Allison, Hotel Pools, Hello Meteor, you probably don't know who those are, but I know who they are, you know. Um, but yeah, I forgot to mention too that like in 2019, because of Fortnite, yes, it was 2019. I was in like seventh grade at the time. Yeah, I remember listening to a lot of Marshmello because of Fortnite. Um, Again, not any of these songs that really had a lot of lyrics in them. Most of his just instrumental DJ beat kind of music. But yeah, um, I want to say it wasn't until like later in 2020/2021 when I was like 14, 15 years old that I started to actually like listen to more mainstream music. Um, which to save a bunch of time, I might as well just get into like what I listen to now, you know? My favorite artist of all time is Tame Impala. I love Tame Impala. My favorite track from Tame Impala has to be Disciple or Disciples. It sounds really, really good. Everyone knows about the Currents album and the Slow Rush. Very, very good, but you know, I really do like pretty much all of his albums from Lonerism to Inner Speaker. Just I love Tame Impala for the same reason I love synthwave. There's just all these sounds, these very synthy sounds, and just oh my god, I call it like I know it sounds stupid, but I call it the ear candy effect, where there's so many sounds to listen to, and it sounds so good. You just every time you listen to it, there's something else you didn't notice before, you know? When compared to, other genres, like, sure, there's a lot, but just, I don't know. I mean, this isn't really about genres. This is just really the artist, Tame Impala, he's great. He's my favorite, dude. Um, Man, um, other than that, I really just like chill music. Obviously I'm black, so you expect, oh, you like rap and hip hop. I do. It took me some time, but I very well do. I love Kendrick Lamar, love Travis Scott. They're probably one of my two favorite rappers of all time. But other than that, I'm not really too huge into the rap game, especially these days, because I gotta be honest, I don't know what the hell is going on these days. I'm not the biggest fan of like Playboy Cardi. I like Uzi. I like Trippy Red and people like that, but I don't know. I just feel like and it's okay. I'm these days a little bit more of a not as much of a casual listener as most people. Like most people, as long as it sounds good, they'll listen to it. But for me, it's like, yeah, if it sounds good, I'll listen to it. But I do care about the lyrics. And when it comes to certain rappers, I feel like there really isn't really supposed to be much meaning to their lyrics. Their song is just supposed to sound good. It's supposed to be like a hype song or something. Um, but yeah, that's why I really do appreciate Kendrick Lamar because you know, going back to Good Kid, Mad City, even Section 80 or Section 8, that before Good Kid, Mad City, it, it just has meaning to it. There's something you can dissect in, the album Damn or, To Pimp a Butterfly, Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. I absolutely love it, dude. Um, and Travis Scott, because he just makes great music. I really love his voice, and I think he's the best when it comes to autotune, you know? Um, but other than that, yeah, I love listening to a lot more chill music. I love listening to I Dress. I love listening to Vacations. They're one of my favorite bands of all time. Just looking at my Spotify playlist right now, like, some of my most popular songs from the past month, um, is songs from Yacht Club, Mac DeMarco. Oh my god, he's also one of my favorites. Hers, Current Joys. If you know these types of people, you know their type of style of music. Vin Sire, that's another one. You know, um, I remember it was a few years ago that I really realized that, like, you know, yeah, I really do enjoy like more slower music. I know there are a lot of people out there that aren't the biggest fan of like sped up and slowed down. I actually used to not be the biggest fan of them either until later on. Where I'm actually like, you know what? I actually do like the slowed version, you know, or even the sped up version, like Borderline by Tame Impala. I feel like that, like, I'm obviously going to listen to the original, but yeah, I like the sped up version. And I love the that feeling you get when you listen to that slowed version of a song. I think it's really cool, especially Young by Vacations or Telephones by Vacations. That entire album from Vacations, just slowing down all the songs, man, just is amazing. You know, but yeah, I love Beach House, which I imagine some people just feel like, dude, some of these songs are depression. What are you talking about? Like Mac DeMarco, Hers, like, yeah, they're sad, but like, that's not why I listen to it. You know what I mean? I just love the slower pace, vibiness to it. Um, but from the exact opposite of chill and calm, I love rock music. I remember, years ago, if you know Plants vs Zombies Garden Warfare, my favorite game series of all time, Plants vs Zombies. Um there was Garden Warfare 1. Was it? Yeah, it was the very first trailer to Garden Warfare 1. There was a song called Wildfire. Or no, wait. Let me look at wait, what was the song called? The song was called Firepower by Airborne. And I remember loving that song when I was younger. And years later in 2021, just listening to the band, and they're definitely probably my favorite rock band, despite, I mean, just, oh my god. They're probably one of, if not my favorite rock band. If not, it's probably Disturbed. But yeah, I love Airborne. I know if you're a rock fan, you definitely know of, Metallica. You definitely know of Slipknot, these types of artists. And don't get me wrong, I love Metallica and I love Slipknot, and Megadeth, and I don't really listen to Linkin Park all that much, but yeah, I know those artists. I love Airborne, you know, um, and it just kind of sucks that I feel like if you're a rock fan, you probably know of Airborne. If you're really, really into rock, like sure they get like how much? I know it doesn't, Spotify doesn't really matter, but they get 1.7 million monthly listeners. Like I feel like if you know who Airborne is, you're probably like a little deeper into rock than just like the surface level stuff. But yeah, they got great songs, you know, from Firepower, Breaking Out of Hell, you know, um, it's all for rock and roll. Do Me Like You Do Yourself, you know, like I could go on. Router Your Bones, Born to Kill. Um, but yeah, Um, other rock bands I really do enjoy is, Arctic Monkeys, A Day to Remember, they're pretty cool. Green Day, of course, who doesn't know who Green Day is? Um, the only song that I really, really like from Avenged Sevenfold is Hail to the King. I don't think they're a bad band or anything. It's just, I don't know. I like their music. It's just, I don't know. That's the only one that really stuck with me. Um, but yeah, of course, I already said Megadeth. Disturbed is probably you know, I wouldn't say my favorite. It's that battle for number one is really hard. It's either Disturbed or Airborne. Disturbed. My favorite song is the Vengeful One. Um, yeah, I absolutely love you know Disturbed. Um, but yeah, I know like I feel like a lot of people these days kind of hate how people kind of just listen to whatever these days. Like a lot of people be like, "Oh, back then you'd ask someone like, "Oh, what do you listen to?" and they just say like, "Oh, anything." And it's like, "Oh, I like back then it was kind of just you listen to a few." I think it's a good thing that people are listening to all kinds of music these days because I love music. I have a MIDI controller. You can't see it, but it's right there. Um and I want to get a guitar. I want to learn how to play a guitar and not make my own music, but just play music, you know. Um, Music is such an important thing in my life. I think music is probably the most popular thing in the world, no matter where you're from, who you are, like you definitely have access to music somehow, you know. Um, but yeah, I didn't even mention like of course I didn't mention everything, but when I say I listen to anything and just whatever I enjoy, I really do mean that. Like even Ariana Grande, you know, I do like a few of her songs, Um, but yeah, I have a Spotify playlist with like over 40 um playlists, literally over 40 playlists, oh yeah, Jack Stover. I need to say how much I love Jack Stover. Okay, I love Jack Stover. They are amazing, you know. Um, and there's multiple reasons as to why you might listen to music too. Growing up, I was always very different from other people. Not that like I had like a bad childhood, because no, I didn't. Um, but a lot of people in my family, you know, obviously, I'm black. We are black. My family are black, and they like the music that they listen to and stuff like that. And because I didn't really listen to that kind of music, it was just kind of like, oh, what? Like people kind of made fun of me for it, And I'm like, and this is a thing that can happen with anyone, but I'm just using this as an example because you need to remember that when you listen to music, you're not listening to you're not listening to it always to just bump your head to something, you know um you know If you feel happy, you might listen to music that might make you feel even happier. If you're sad, you might listen to sad music. If I don't know, you just woke up, and you feel like you're having a good morning, I don't know, you might listen to bossa nova, or just something, I don't know. I feel like that's more common these days, especially with Spotify and these, you know, music apps like that where you can make a playlist. Like people are making playlists for just whatever emotion that they're feeling. Um but yeah, I absolutely enjoy music. I love music. It's a very important thing to me, and I know tons of other people, you know, and I don't gatekeep. That's one thing. I hate when people gatekeep, you know. They're like, only I could be a fan of this. And it's like, no, let everyone be a fan, you know? Sure, they don't have to necessarily understand it, even though I feel like they should. I think there's a huge reason as to why in the black community, people like Kendrick and Tupac are very important people, you know. There's a reason why their music has touched many in the black community, and not just black people, but of course, all people in America, because I think black people only make up like 13% of America. Um, so there's only so many, other African Americans that can listen to the song before it's mostly just white people, obviously. Um, but yeah, whatever. Remember to listen to your lyrics because I'm gonna say this one last thing. I remember last year, um, I saw a ad during Christmas playing Christmas Kids. Christmas Kids is not a Christmas song, and it is not about Christmas. It is a very messed up song. Please listen to your lyrics, please. Just one little quick look at the lyrics for that song, and you'll notice, like, okay, it's not a Christmas song, it's not about Christmas, and it's really messed up, and it's even based on a real story. So, yeah, I love dissecting lyrics. I love lyrics. I love looking at my lyrics. And it's kind of funny when I see people just bumping to a song. I'm like, do you even know what that means? I don't know. I just find it funny. Bye bye.